It's time for this week's Here's How. And this week, here's how you can explain death to a child. Buy them a helium balloon and attach the hamster ball to it with their pet hamster inside, or the goldfish, and go to the park with them and with a pair of binoculars. Release the balloons, and so long as you're not facing the sun, you don't want to hurt the kid's eyes, allow them to observe the balloon until it disappears or it pops in sight. Then explain to them in the same way that the balloon was here and floating, but now it isn't and it's plummeting towards the ground. That's a lot like life. The balloon is still a balloon, it just doesn't work as a balloon anymore, and in around sort of like 20 seconds time, neither will your hamster. Leave a carrot on the side in the kitchen and tell them to take a photograph of it every day for 12 months. Then compile the pictures for them into a video. They'll be able to see the carrot rot, whilst new life forms will start coming from the carrot, like mould and insects, little bugs and that. Then tell them that the carrot is a lot like Grandad. He was a good carrot whilst he was around. He was great at being a carrot, but now he's not our carrot anymore. He belongs to the flies now. Ignore them whilst they're crying. It might not teach them about death, but it'll ready them for death. You won't always be there to help them or to feign an interest in their little kiddie problems, So explain that when you're dead, you're no longer going to have to pretend to care or not to listen to what they're talking about, because you just simply won't be able to do either. Stand in their bedroom and say, "Look at all this stuff around you." Then turn the light off so it goes dark and do your best Roy Walker impression and tell them, "Say what you see." When they then, they say, "Oh, I can still see my bed," call them a liar. When they finally understand they can't see anything, explain to them that's what death is. Everything you knew was still, it's there, it's still there, but you can't see it or do anything with it anymore. When you're teaching them how to start fires with little magnifying glasses, explain to them that if you get too much focus from an external source, then you burn up faster than everyone else around you. That death comes quickly to those that try, because everyone else will amplify them. So to cheat death, it's best that they just don't bother at all. Except you'll get to your Nan's age and you'll die anyway. But you'll be lonely like Nan was, so it won't matter, because you'll have lived long enough to push everyone else away from you, and then no one gets hurt. If they get smart and say that cats don't die because they've got 9 lives, explain that's because cats are whores. It doesn't mean that they don't die. That's ridiculous. They're not lobsters. Cats will lead 9 different lives with 9 different people. They're not immortal. Sticking with cats, when your cat has unexpected kittens, take your kid to the canal with a stapler, pillowcase and a fishing rod. Attach the line to the pillowcase using a good strong, tensile carp line, and drop the bag of kittens into the canal, keeping 2 on the bank in a box. Then after like 5 minutes, pull the bag out of the canal and allow little Johnny to compare the 2 living cats with the dead ones in the pillowcase, so they can fully grasp what's happened and what the difference is between them, so he understands. Then, to illustrate another point, attach a line to a kitten and chuck that into the canal, allowing it to swim. This will show your child that no matter how hard you want to live forever, no matter how hard you try to live forever, death is inevitable. And allow him to keep the last kitten, because he's your kid and he's gonna treasure that little guy. Take them to a funeral director's. It's important to learn that death doesn't have to be scary. Have the funeral director believe that the kid's really ill and wants to help arrange his own funeral. Best to practice crying or rub a little bit of chili powder on the back of your hand to make turning on the waterworks much easier, and teach the kid to say that they want to do it to make it easier for mum when I'm gone. The funeral directors are bound to give little Cindy special treatment here, and now Cindy understands more about the dying process, but they know that it's not all doom and gloom or scary. Sometimes death can bring out the best in people. If they've got a friend who's a bad influence, then tell them that child is now dead, but first introduce them to ghost stories and demonology. That way, if they think they see the mate Keza walking with her mum in the street, they'll just assume it's the ghost of Keza walking alongside her mum to comfort her, or because she's stuck here for being a naughty girl. Double whammy with this one, guys, because it'll help keep the kid from misbehaving for a while as well. It's like a second Christmas. Whenever the other parent gets ill, if the other parent is still involved in the kid's life, secretly tell them that this could mean that parent could die, and that means that they might be gone forever. This will make you and the kid closer, and they'll be much nicer to you when you're ill if they think that showing symptoms of, like a common cold is an indication that that parent is losing love for them, the child. And that's the end of this week's Here's How. If you're listening to this and you think to yourself, quite like this, maybe you'd like to see what I make out of dead rats as well, mate. There's a link below in the description. Wherever you're listening to this, you should find a link anyway, a link tree. If not, just search World Around You, the name of the podcast, and you'll find all me on all my socials and that, mate. Give a little go of Threshold.fm as well. You'll find loads of different radio shows there by loads of different people. Anyway, thanks for listening, man. I'll let you get back to your show.